The jewelry industry was lacking pieces that women could wear from the office to happy hour and everywhere in between. Well, that's where Kristin Cavallari came up with the idea for Uncommon James. It's classic jewelry for women on the go. Of course, that didn't happen without her fair share of challenges, trials, and tribulations. This is the story of Uncommon James. You're watching The Grow Wire Show. A television personality, a host, and a fashion designer, Kristin Cavallari has been in the spotlight for most of her life, starring in shows like Laguna Beach and The Hills, and hosting red carpet events for E! News. When did you fall in love with fashion? What's your history with fashion? Did it start like way back on the reality TV days, or?
No, and if you saw me on reality TV, it was very apparent that I knew nothing about fashion.
I don't know what you're talking about because everybody copied you, so.
Well, all right, so maybe it was just third of the time. I will say, I always wore this black choker on Laguna Beach. Like, I didn't take that thing off my junior and senior years of high school, so that's kind of cool.
Kristin is, in fact, a trendsetter, and that, combined with her yearning to succeed beyond the flashing lights, inspired her to take the dive into the world of business. She partnered with Chinese Laundry to create her very own shoe collection, a successful 6-year venture that fueled her passion for fashion and design and inspired the next big step in her career.
Everything that I've done my whole life, whether it was hosting or acting or Chinese Laundry or whatever, you know, it's more of a collaboration, and I really wanted complete creative freedom to do whatever I wanted. And I just literally decided, okay, you know what? I want to start my own jewelry line. I have the shoes and I love the shoes, but what's the next step? What I really learned with Chinese Laundry is that I know my customer best. You know, I know my girl, I just do. And so that was really exciting for me to, you know, create Uncommon James, to be able to give them what they wanted. And what they want is ultimately what I want. So Uncommon James is a true reflection of my personal style. I've always been into the dainty, simple jewelry.
Yes.
I just wanted a collection that was easy for the modern woman to be able to throw on a couple pieces in the morning. You don't have to think about it. You know, like no one has 10 minutes every morning to throw on a million different pieces and try and all of this stuff. We want to throw it on, we want to go and get to the next thing in our day.
Yeah. So what were the first steps then that you took to actually turn this vision into a business?
Anyone can be sitting at home going, okay, I want a jewelry line. But it's like, okay, but how are you gonna make that happen unless you're actually making it yourself?
Yeah.
I happen to have a card for a manufacturer, and I reached out and I was just like, hey, I wanna start a jewelry line, you know, give me all the information you have. Sent over my ideas and they made them happen.
So what was it about this manufacturer that you knew you could trust to put, you know, your jewelry into their hands? You just went with it?
No, I was the only manufacturer I had access to. So I was like, great, we're gonna make this jewelry line.
Working out of her home with just one other remote employee and some assistance from her husband, former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler, Kristin Cavallari launched Uncommon James in 2017. This launch, of course, came with its own unique challenges.
Jay and I were actually packaging orders that night and the next day, like all day.
Oh my gosh.
But I had like plastic bins with like all the jewelry in it just in my office, and like my laptop, one Dymo label printer, and just doing it.
You were doing it yourself with Jay.
I'll be honest with you, the first line of Uncommon James was really cheap, and it wasn't 14 karat gold plated, and because I didn't know the right questions to ask.
Yeah. Would you go back and do it differently now though?
I guess not, you know? I mean...
Worked out okay.
We're okay. But since launching Uncommon James, I've read books about the process of making jewelry.
Okay.
Even though I'm not making it, but it's important for me to know while I'm designing it. So now I know the right questions to ask.
Yeah.
But no, was that manufacturer the best move in the beginning? No, but it got me to be able to launch Uncommon James, and I've since found a better manufacturer.
Kristin may have overcome these initial setbacks, but she wasn't out of the woods just yet. Her brand was growing and growing fast, and the demand for her jewelry was about to explode far beyond her expectations. Join us on part 2 of this Uncommon James Grow Wire show to find out how Kristin Cavallari managed this growth while preparing for her new e-reality show, Very Cavallari.
That catapulted us to the next level overnight, and we had to just hire people. Like, we needed bodies in here.